The words that we use create the world that we see and experience. In the short term, they shape our imaginations and our feelings. In the medium term, our language heavily influences our personal stories. In the long term, our stories shape our realities by systematically editing out anything that doesn't fit. Our words influence us by affecting four key areas: our thoughts, our emotions, our posture, and our breathing. For example, think about your favorite vacation memory. Maybe you were relaxing on the beach or exploring a city or the mountains that you'd only seen in pictures. What just happened for you? Did you visualize the experience? Feel happy or excited? Did you relax into your chair a little bit more? Did your breathing get deeper? What happened? I used words to help you tap into a story that created a cascade of effects. What if I had prompted you to go the other way, to think about your greatest fear? I imagine your brain, without you making the conscious decision to do so, just showed you a clown, a spider, or a view down from the top of the Empire State Building, or maybe being embarrassed in front of someone, or someone leaving or rejecting you. Were you failing? When we pull these threads all the way back to their source, it comes back to the words and stories we use. Think about it. People can be so hijacked by a story or a memory that they're emotionally shaken and experiencing a fear response years after the event occurred. They may cry, breathe, short, shallow, and exhibit a posture and body language that clearly indicates, I don't feel safe, like covering their midsection and making their presence small. They're in a fear state. What happens when we get in this fear state is something called an amygdala hijack. The amygdala is an almond-sized part of our brain responsible for processing emotions and is the primary driver of a fight, flight, or freeze response. When babies are born, the amygdala is fully formed. For contrast, the prefrontal cortex, the thought processing center of the brain, doesn't fully form until around 25. This means that we as human beings have evolved to react emotionally way before logically as a way to survive. 10,000 years ago, when we were sitting around the campfire and we heard a rustling in the bushes, this was biologically advantageous to us. It could have been the wind, or it could have been a saber-toothed tiger. We needed the dump of adrenaline and the blood rushing to our core. We needed heightened levels of visual acuity. We needed our system to shut off non-essential processes like rational thought so that we could react and survive. Great for fighting a saber-toothed tiger, not so great for the modern world. What does this have to do with your health and fitness? The same amygdala hijack, that fight, flight, or freeze response, is the one that most people work themselves into when they either attempt to make a lifestyle change, like start a fitness journey, or face adversity, like experiencing setbacks. This hijack in the modern world starts with the words, I can't do this. What if I fail? Is this setback a sign that I'm unable to be helped? These words create stories and beliefs. The power of words lies in our brainstems, where a bundle of nerves called the reticular activating system filters out unnecessary information to allow more important information to get through to us. The RAS is like a pair of binoculars. When the RAS deems something important, it goes looking for more evidence of that thing. We focus these binoculars with our words and our breath. With different words and breath, you can bring something into focus or take something out of focus. The RAS is impartial. When something is deemed as important, it goes on a search and find mission. It searches for evidence and eliminates or edits out anything that it's not focused on. Have you ever been looking for something and told yourself it's not there, only to have your spouse or kid point out that it was right in front of you? Why couldn't you see the thing that was right in front of your face? Your reticular activating system filtered it out. Here's another example. Have you ever gotten into a new car? Maybe not brand new, but new to you. As soon as you got that car, did you all of a sudden start seeing that car everywhere? That's your reticular activating system at work. How do we hack and aim the RAS? You guessed it, words. There are two primary language patterns that we'll focus on: conflict language and architect language. Conflict language is language that escalates and dramatizes conflict through distorted focus, lack of clarity, and confusion. It creates domination and separation instead of harmony and alignment with our bodies. There are only so many ways that you can piss yourself off and beat yourself up. Using conflict language forces you to stare at the outcome that you are trying to avoid, create victim-villain mental imagery, and distorts focus through ambiguity and uncertainty. Conflict language is the seed that yields self-doubt, hatred, and domination. Architect language empowers individuals and facilitates abundance by creating focus, clarity, consistency, and decisiveness. It creates harmony and alignment within our body and our mind. If we can create anger, tension, doubt, and fear with conflict language, architect language opens up possibilities, options, a sense of calm and abundance. We use a tactic called translations to translate conflict language to architect language. We dive further into this in the accompanying videos and workbook. Remember, words have power. Words create stories. Stories influence our beliefs. Beliefs drives our behavior, and behavior cultivates identity. By becoming intentional with our words, we can become intentional about who we are.